All right. Hey everyone. So I am Bart. Bart Smith.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! No, you're not.
I am
No,
indeed
you're not.
Bart Smith. I'm a very normal person, a regular human being. Apart from the fact that I can also cast spells because I am a wizard. So exceptional in that way. But other than that, a very regular human.
What's your main spell? What's your main spell, Bart?
Well, I love to cast invisibility and Cloud of Daggers.
That's wrong! That's wrong! For
those-
reference, Bart is an NPC in Kai and I's Eberron campaign.
It's just such a good name.
It is.
Trying to figure out why you were so upset there for a second.
As soon as I heard Bart, I was like, you son of a bitch.
So anyway, Bart is sitting in the corner of the tavern with a nice big mug of ale. And he has this big handkerchief over his face because of his bulbous nose that is very human and normal that he just is very self-conscious about. So he keeps a little handkerchief over it and then occasionally flicks up the handkerchief and takes a sip of the ale and then flicks it back down before you can see anything.
Well, hello, I am Shay. Shay's just been really traveling, got a lot longer to go, in this tavern, getting a nice thing of ale. Definitely very, very, human looking. It has her hood up, though, is really trying to conceal herself. She's got a book that she's reading as she drinks the ale, and if you could see her face, she looked a little confused. And you might notice that looks like she's wearing green gloves as she's flipping through this book, just trying to keep to herself over in the corner.
Hello, loves. I'm Scotty Pip. I'm probably standing at the bar, something like that. You'd notice the first thing about Scotty is he's wearing pretty tall shoes, but they blend into his legs pretty well. He's on the shorter side, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit shorter. There's nothing wrong with that. He's wearing a long blue coat that he's turned the collar up of, and I think while he's standing at the bar, he's currently going through a pouch of rocks and throwing them on the ground.
Hi!
Oh, please!
I gotta learn how to make this lower so it's not screaming into the microphone. My name is Ima. You see this?
I'm gonna not do the voice during the internet.
Oh my god.
You see, this human, definitely a human, twiddling their ring, and they have a really bad allergy, condition right now, where their face is all really red and really, really scaly. It's probably from, a rash, you know, and, a really big, long nose, you know, but you can't tell, you know? It's just, you know, it's a human.
Mm-hmm.
And, very tall. I'm very, very, very tall. I'm 10 feet, 11 feet tall.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
That's a very
That's a very
average height for
regular
humans.
human.
Yes.
I have, what is it, gigantism? Whatever it is.
Of course. Along with your
and-
allergies.
My allergies.
really rough.
Yeah, I'm it's been, the eczema, it's just been bad. And
Wow.
I have a really big trench coat on. And you see, little red shoes. I have really tiny feet.
How do you stand up like that?
Yes. Walking through the door, you see a, just kind of average height woman. You can assume woman, but she's wearing a very, very long, full cloak that's just kind of covering everything. It's like a deep, deep gray. and the hood is covering most of her face, specifically her eyes, and she's just kind of steps in and then steps to the side of the door, and then just kind of stands there and like looks around at everybody.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. My character's name is Isla Feanor. She looks like just an old elf. Like she's lived to death, basically. She looks like she's seen some years. And she is currently giving the driver of this boat a lecture on how no, I will not be paying. Do you think I brought money into the after? I died. That was supposed to be the end of it. We're done.
Death is not the end.
Yes.
Kind of standing, going into a crouch with a chainmailed hand on the temples, from hearing this speech over. You see a humanoid figure, maybe about close reaching 6 foot in height. They have this wild mane of black and white, slight bits of blues and reds in the hair that just sort of slightly float in the air as if they were underwater. You see that they wear these flowing almost robes, as the two where they would meet on the shoulder are kind of not on the shoulder itself. They're just kind of hanging down with these large bits of cloth and strap that go down, while they have a chainmail shirt on. Crossing on the back is a glaive and a great sword, which seem to have some embellishments on it. You can tell that they're a Yuan-ti only because they have a golden slit, and where the sclera of the eyes are, there's just flames that slowly lick towards the eyebrow and just kind of go off. And on the wrists, there are 2 like 1-inch large shackles that have no key entry. They're just kind of there. And he goes, but what was Lorelei Lazuli?
Yeah, you see standing there with her arms crossed, kind of looking annoyed and also curious about the boat approaching, a human-looking woman with dark auburn hair that's been pulled back into a braid. She has striking silver eyes, and there's a scar that goes down the left side of her face. She's wearing a very simple tunic, like teal black, small armor bits, leather boots, looks like traveling clothes, really. And she just kind of stands there and stares at you all intently. Cove, can you please introduce your character?
I would love to. The character that I'm playing is V. And this Minotaur is a Highland cow, specifically. Oh my god. And she is actually a mini-tar, as she is 4'6". She has an ostrich feather hanging from one of her ears. She is in sort of light purple wrappings that has orange trim. It's almost the same color as her orangish fur. Bright green eyes that subtly peek through a mess of hair that lays in front of them. And there is a braid in her hair on the opposite side of where the ostrich feather is. And she has some nice horns on her, let me just say.
Wonderful. Welcome, V. And Jupiter, can you please introduce your character? Yeah, so you see standing there watering the garden, Melanie. She is wearing a simple gray tunic with a silver corset, and a long coat over top that looks like it is made of starlight, just glittering dark blue with lots of sparkles in it. She has pale green skin with a slightly darker hair that is long and flowing and loose. And across her cheeks, it looks like glitter, but it's actually little gemstone freckles. And her eyes are a startling blue, and when you get close and you look at them, it almost looks as if they're crystals. Her irises are crystals. She's just staring at those carrots a little bit and then goes back to watering. And Shep, can you please introduce your character?
Sure. Sitting on this bench, taking a break from scouting, sketching out these architecture designs. About a 5'4" figure. Slim, however, it can't really be seen as they are wearing heavy dusters and cloaks for most of their torso that are a mix of this palish cream and blues and oranges and browns, with these pants that come up just above the ankle that kind of poof out, with kind of open-toed shoes along their back. There is a kind of gnarled-looking long bow from their and from their neck hangs a small necklace that kind of looks like a whistle of some kind, but it's purple with like blue etchings. Their face is very boyish. This figure looks no more in human years, about like maybe early 18, maybe close to 20. Their hair is this like poof of white fur with almost like canine ears poking out the top of the head, with goggles adorning the front of where the ears sit, with teal blue eyes that are staring at this drawing that they're doing and like flipping the pencil in their hand.
From the entrance of the bakery, you can see a shadow pass in the entryway, though it appears that no one is there. You all look around, and it seems that it was just your imagination. But then suddenly, a voice pipes up.
What are we all looking at?
You look down and see a bunt cake with legs looking up at you. Trinity, may you please introduce your character?
Yes. The man you see below you is none other than the long-lost cousin of the world-renowned gingerbread man. This is Tobias, the Bunt Cake Man. Commander of the cakes, chief of the cookies, bearer of the bread, promoter of the pie, freer of the flan, liberator of the lemon drops, and champion of the croissants, and messenger of the macarons. Founder and leader of the BGAMK, Baked Goods Against Mankind. From sea to sea, the highest mountain to the lowest valley, he is known for his honorable endeavor to free every scone and pastry alike from the grappling claws of the NBRs, non-baked races. And in his late cousin's memory, he vows to die before he sees another dough baked into servitude. And he's a bunt cake. He's about 2.5 feet tall. His round form is perfect for sneaking through kitchens and diving out of evil ovens. He's got this cartoonish face at the top of his cake with like white and black icing all across his body, and pinned to his chest, or like the right side of his cake, is like an edible blue, white, and red flower. Vive la breadvolution, my brothers.
Once there was a gingerbread man, baking in a gingerbread pan. Raisin eyes and a cherry nose. Oh, you've already heard how this one goes? Well, did you know that the gingerbread man wasn't the only sweet to ever come alive? There have been 4 others, bringing our total to 5. One night, after a bakery had locked its door, that's where we meet our 4. Waking up, tearing their way out of cellophane, Miss Swiss was the first to get a brain. Waiting on a plate for someone to take, the second to awaken was named Daisy Cake. The third who was up and ready to rumble was our little friend, named Crumble. And last but not to be overlooked, Geralt Breading, who came out a bit overcooked.
You see a Swiss roll peel their way through the cellophane. And here, oh my! Oh no! This is not good! I am not only 18 hours old. I was made at 6 a.m. this morning. And I'm Miss Swiss. And I come out and you see like a chocolate Swiss roll with white icing on the inside and powdered sugar on top. I am horizontal. I want to make it clear that I'm not vertical. I'm horizontal. And I'm rolling around and I'm like, what is happening?
So sitting on the corner on a little plate is a little vanilla cupcake. She's got a pretty pink wrapper around her and a nice swirl of vanilla icing on top. Very simple, very plain. This is Daisy Cake. I want to look over at Miss Swiss and go, oh no! Did you fall?
Oh hey! I'm gonna do the like draw me like one of your French girls pose.
Oh no, you didn't fall. Okay.
Oh.
So, fighting her way out of the cellophane is a little golden brown cookie with some purpley blue spots, a couple blueberries kind of poking out. Looks like some brown sugar sprinkled over top. Looks very nervous. Oh god, what's happening? Oh. And looks around and sees the person next to her. Or the baked good next to her, I should say.
So you see a very like it looks like it's been overcooked, kind of stale gingerbread man. That's lying on the plate wrapped in cellophane. The face is kind of drawn on in icing, but you watch as the eyes just kind of shoot open, and he just stares up at the ceiling with this like distant look of, oh joy, consciousness. Here I am. His name is Geralt Breading. He's just not. He's a little bitter, you know, like in the way that cookies are. If you cook them for way too long and then leave them out for way too long, they're just kind of like, it's still sweet, but it's like, He's just laying there, kind of groaning, staring up at the ceiling.
Albwyn, can you please introduce your character?
Oh my gosh, hi guys.
Whoa, hi.
Hi, I'm playing Albwyn. She's got this really big, wild auburn hair with bangs, and she's sort of got these antlers coming out of it from this like headpiece that she's gotten put together. She's a druid of Milaki, so she's got the antlers. But yeah, she's got this like very strong Roman nose, tan skin, these like nice warm brown eyes. She's got little fangs. She's a shifter, so she's a little wolfy, with pointed ears. And she's wearing like lots of warm oranges, as she's a wildfire druid, so she's very much like dressed, but it's very, very androgynous, kind of the way she dresses. And she's got Peppermint with her baby. Where's her baby? And she's like frantically looking around like, Peppermint.
Umbra, as you start to dust yourself off and rise from the dirt hard floor, may you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, so Umbra stands up from the ground. Surrounding him is like swirls of like mist and ghosts, and as like this, he looks around and he's not like in the middle of a fight anymore. His skin like stops blurring as if it's like halfway between death and life, and it goes back to being just kind of pale. So if you picture the first thing that pops into your head when someone says goth rogue guy, that is Umbra. Umbra Ebony Dark is just exactly the stereotypical rogue. Has a weird little bracer on that's like loaded full of darts and daggers, and looks around. He goes, "Where did Casfoni go?"
And Ebb, you're dusting off, you're checking your gills, you're reorienting with the bright, like the air of this world tastes a little bit different as you're sort of inhaling and exhaling. And can you please introduce your character?
Dr. Eb Fisher is a Lokatha, is basically a fish person. She's got little fins, like where her ears should be, and fins kind of off of her jaw. She's got fins on her forearms and at the base of her ankles. She's wearing this like cute little like circle skirt with polka dots on it, and this like adorable little like 3/4 sleeve sweater, and like fishnets. And she's just kind of dusting off her skirt and trying to like clean herself off a little bit. She has spent most of her life just kind of traveling around. She's a professor of, well, like the specifics of her title have been long lost since like her home was long destroyed, but she spends her whole life traveling and learning and just trying to absorb as much information about the people and the places around her as possible. And that's kind of how she ended up with this party, was just she wanted to be helpful, and these people were all working towards a positive goal, so she joined them. And she's focused on like time magic now, but she's a lot more open to learning kind of whatever. She's just like dusting off her skirt and is just kind of looking around. And as she starts to kind of get her bearings, she goes, "Oh!" And tries to kind of reestablish the link that she had.
So sad.
And Delilah, as you are rising from the dirt, observing Eb just going in circles, and Umbra, Ebony Dark, and Alwyn embracing
And Peppermint.
aggressively. And Peppermint. Peppermint is absolutely
Yeah,
part
we're
of this
hugging
embrace.
Peppermint too.
Peppermint's
Peppermint's
probably
like
the hardest.
coiling.
Yeah, Peppermint is coiling as well. And Delilah, you can please introduce your character.
I think, she hasn't come to, like, full standing yet, but she's, like, kneeling on the ground in the, like, thinker man position, and, like, has her head, like, her hand on her, like, fist, just as she, like, ponders what the fuck just happened. You see this, like, large woman who's, in, like, a full suit of armor, just, like, heavily breathing, and, like, what was in like a very like tied back kind of like, I'd say it was like, it's one of those like weird like hairstyles where they make a ponytail first and then braid said ponytail just to like keep it fully like away, but it's all like come out and it is like a full head of like almost too blonde hair, where like that looks fake but also it looks real at the same time. Were you born that way? And then like, and then like slowly looking up, there's like her skin is also like just a shade too good, where it's like you look like you're glowing, but like at the same time that looks natural. Were you born that way?
Could be perhaps a broken heart, perhaps a broken instrument. Kai, Jimothy, please, can you introduce your character?
Sorry, can we
Yeah.
let that sink in? Whatever that was, that introduction. That was a story. I would like to throw away my character and just follow this for the rest of the time. Please and thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, Jimothy is a big, large hair with just walking along. His shadow kind of trails behind and like kind of morphs as if it's like not quite following his movements. And he's holding a keytar on his back that is completely snapped in half. You can see like the little electric cords like kind of ripped apart, and like every once in a while he'll like sadly look down at it and press one of the keys and it goes just like a really terrible dead keytar sound.
Is this the character from that Hop movie?
You know, I haven't seen it, but possibly.
Except I think in that one he wants to be a drummer.
Oh yeah.
Not the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, no, not a drummer. This one's Jimothy Lightfoot really wants to be a keytar artist.
In a well-tailored suit, carrying a briefcase and a tumbler mug of coffee in his hand, Shep Grimithy. Please introduce your character.
What?
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
Very, very, very tired. Just the caffeine running through the system, but still looks very tired. Small, in comparison, very small. Looking, a very well tailored suit, kind of green skin. This suitcase that kind of rattles next to them, holding this cup of coffee. There is on the belt has like a thing of business cards, and the business cards say Grimithy Bickett, fairy tale frontman at law. No relation, or please don't ask about my relative, as he is meant to be a cricket, but he for legal reasons cannot say his true last name, and is sipping his coffee, tired, and ready to see what happens.
What is happening right now?
Next, we see a young girl gazing at her surroundings in delight and marveling at the beautiful day, though she is walking slightly behind the others and keeping a wary eye, not getting too close. And Fish, Ursa, please introduce your character.
Ursa is this girl. She looks very young, a bit too tall to be like a kid. So she definitely looks like she's grown, but she looks on the younger side. She's got lush, curly blonde hair that reflects the gold in the sunlight as she leans into the support of this wooden staff. The staff is made of this knotted, curved wood and is capped with a blue crystal of some kind. And as you look down the staff, you notice that there's crisscrossing claw marks all the way up and down the sides. And she's looking at kind of all the foliage that lines the path and is grinning with her whole mouth, all of her teeth bared for the world. She has canines that seem a little too big for her mouth, and the other teeth seem a little bit too sharp for a human. But she's just kind of keeping her distance, and she seems to almost be skipping. Like she has a lot of joy in her as she's looking around at everything that surrounds her.
My Ursa, what big teeth you have.
You see a face, just a small face, pop up from the toppled over driver's seat, bench, and Trinity. Can you please introduce your character, Tobias?
Yes. Rising from the smoldering carriage, you see a tiny man, in stature, but not in might. He has burned bakeries to the ground, punished the pastry houses, cremated any and all creameries, pulverized the pie places. With the strength of 1,000 warriors, he fights the endless battle against non-baked races. The BGMK will never fail! The BGMK will never fall! The BGMK will prevail! Vive la breadvolution, my brethren! Tobias is a 3-foot-tall bundt cake with black and white icing and a cartoon face.
God.
You see, he steps out of the carriage, like, dusting his hands off and, like, brushing his shoulders and goes, "Woo! Hi! It's been a while since I have worked in the field."
Ashley, do you want to describe the character in front?
I absolutely can. My name is Paula.
Ooh, that's an accent.
You're doing this for the whole game?
The whole game.
Wow.
I was practicing it for like 2 hours before we started doing this.
Wow. All right.
You see, like, this massive, muscly woman, this big Goliath. She's this, like, gray color with white sort of, the, like, you know, Goliath markings all over, and this very messy, dreadlock hair that's been put up into a bun, a couple pieces falling out, and she's got, like, full plate armor on, just, like, fully covered, but she's got a big old smile on her face, and she's leading, her 2 parolees into the tavern. That's me. I'm Paula. Oh, I should say I'll say the full name. I am Paula Onestade Thugilogio.
Tanner, I guess you can go first.
Standing next to this very tall Goliath is a very short dwarf. He stands about 4 feet tall. Red hair tied back into like a messy bun. He has a very short beard. Just wearing a green shirt and like a black little vest over it, and he seems very timid by comparison. His name is Ren. And he has a scar on his face that looks like a little bit of a burn scar. That's a little bit more fresh. But yes, that's Ren.
And Trinity, you want to introduce yours?
Yeah, the final figure is this, like, she's like a shorter, Air Genasi with like the light blue skin. And she's got dark blue hair that's very, very, like, thick and, curly. She's wearing, like a very, very, like, light pink sundress. And she's got the, like, massive, like, she looks like she just came from a day at the beach. Like, she's got the massive sun hat. She's got the, like, the, like, towel bag and sandals.
Some sunnies? Do you have some sunnies on?
Yes, but they're, like, the massive ones that cover, like, almost half her face.
This town is actually on the edge of the ocean. Like, it has, like, a
There you go.
beach next to it. So
Yeah.
you definitely could have just come in from, like, a nice
Yeah.
beach day.
And she's got this, like, very cool, confident temperament. This is Cornelia.